Welcome to the Awesome Patron Podcast. Hello, everyone.
It's been a while.
Actually, welcome back to all 15 of you.
Welcome back to all 15 of you.
So they're hosting the show now?
Yeah, that's a new secret. Y'all are now the hosts of the show, and we're going to watch all of you. All 15 of y'all. Oh, I'm thirsty.
Well, we can all drink at the same time.
Yeah. All 1, 2, 3.
All shots of water at the same time.
Hopefully these straws, you can't hear them when I drink out of them. That's the main purpose.
Yeah.
I didn't want to
Yeah, Marquez is having us.
I didn't want to do any of that. So
Marquez is having us use metal straws.
Yeah,
we're
really
saving the planet.
Saving the planet.
Which it probably needs a little bit of saving right now with 2020. The way 2020 is going.
Yeah, man. I just sniffed right in the microphone.
Well, you have COVID now. Yeah. We all do.
How's everyone doing?
Start a conversation.
How y'all doing today?
How y'all
doing? Oh, that's good to hear.
Are we like Dora the Explorer?
Yeah.
Just gotta pause for a little bit.
Where's the green cup?
Which is even funnier because people are probably just listening to
That's
this.
True, yeah.
And not even watching the video on YouTube.
That's right.
So they're trying to look for the green cup now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's look for it. It's in your room somewhere. I put it there. Right.
You put it in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I just realized I left my charger in shot this whole time.
All right, we're a little rusty.
Yeah. Okay.
We got this, guys.
All right. Let's do my little saying.
When was our last episode, though?
Oh, it's been a bit.
Marcus, stop slamming your...
You say you're saying, oh, look up when the last episode was.
Okay, cool. Well, guys, if...
Did you forget what you said?
I just don't know if I started off anyways. Anyways, guys, if we are still on those things, so hopefully we still are, all three of them. Right?
I get emails from Uchkal.
That's
lot,
true.
So.
Yeah. If you like what we have to say but hate what you have to see, head on over to Google Play, iTunes, or Spotify because we're on hopefully we're still on all three of those, and I'm pretty sure we are. I mean, I can't imagine they take us off.
Apple's not. What's it called now? Isn't it just Apple? It's not iTunes.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well, Apple Caster and Pod
Apple Caster.
Whatever it's called.
Our last episode was posted on March 13th, 2020.
Nice.
That was
it's what?
Right before.
What's today? October 13th.
So
2020?
March 15th is when I was sent home from work, saying we're gonna make you all work from home now.
Yeah.
And I've been working from home ever since then.
Yeah, because I think March 13th is when like everything started shutting down, right?
Yeah.
So because I think that's why we did the podcast. We like wanted to do the podcast as soon as all that started happening.
Yeah. And then, unfortunate news, everyone, I ended up getting COVID-19.
Oh, yeah.
And his whole family.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're going to get demonetized.
Oh, yeah.
So much
we should
money.
probably be a little careful with that.
COVID's
too many times.
I would say as long, because we're not making money off this right now, as long as we don't get shut down, that's our only priority.
As long as we don't say Alex Jones' name.
Yeah.
Whoa.
As long as we don't get shut down or already taken off or anything like that, we're good. So.
But anyways, your sister got it pretty bad.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah. So when it comes to COVID, I would say like a month or two into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, well, wasn't it like, was it May or June?
I thought it was May.
June. I think it was June.
Was it the 1st of June?
I think it was June.
Yeah, because you took off that first week of June.
Yeah. I hung out with y'all that first week in June.
Yeah. Because you weren't living with us in May. You didn't come up at all in May. And then you were like, all right, I'm going to spend the first week of June with y'all.
Yeah.
So you came up, and then when you went back is when your sister tested positive for COVID.
Yeah. And what sucked was, so I on my job, right, I texted like, hey, my sister has COVID. Me and my family are getting tested right now. Mm-hmm. So just so you know, I probably won't be able to come in, right? And so I tested negative. My mom tested positive, and then my niece tested positive. And by the way, I've heard that they've actually are no longer doing the test I had to do because it seems like every person I've talked to about it said they just got a quick nasal swab. Yeah, like right.
Well, I think they're improving it. So
yeah, they improved it, right?
Thankfully,
unlike me when they did the total brain swab.
yeah, I've heard awful stories about that. Yeah. I even read this one article.
Thing where me and Zach were really worried if we were gonna have to get tested because Marquez had come up, and then it was if he tested positive, we were gonna have to get tested, and we were still living in Denton, and Denton wasn't having a lot of places testing, and it was chaotic until.
Which just a side story we haven't even brought up. We have a new set now.
Oh yeah,
because we moved into a new house.
We moved into a new house. Yeah. That's also another reason. There's a lot of reasons why we haven't posted in a while. You know, some of it had to do with laziness.
Yeah, a lot of it, maybe like 60 or 70%.
Yeah, yeah, but
COVID happened, and then. We were looking for a house, which was chaotic during these times. I don't know if anybody's tried to, but houses are going so fast. Yeah,
moving during a pandemic isn't as easy as it should be.
Yeah,
but thankfully we are all back to living together now, like completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like back then, it was like, well, we lived together while we're in college, and so that's why it was easier to put out videos every week. But after college ended, I was going back to McKinney because I have a job. I have a job in McKinney.
You have a job?
Yeah, I have a job. I have a job in McKinney. And so because of that, I wasn't able to come all the time. If you don't know,
Denton and McKinney's like 45 minutes from each other.
Yeah, which isn't super far away, but it is hard to like see each other like constantly.
Yeah. Especially since, at the time, we were also trying to put out other videos, like our YouTube videos, you know?
Yeah, our best of the decade videos.
Yeah, we're
slacking on.
We
started in January, and we're still a little bit over halfway over.
Yeah, it's not completely our fault, but I would say like 60% laziness.
Yeah. I will take a good portion of that responsibility.
Yeah, I'll take it too. But
I've been pretty lazy with that because we filmed all but the last one, and we just haven't edited
before I got COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
I think it was before. Was it before or after I got COVID?
It was before.
I think it was after.
I think we filmed some of them before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, oh goodness, and then we filmed the next two after I got back from COVID, and then we started trying to find houses, and so we definitely didn't have. At that point, we definitely didn't have time to make videos.
Yeah, because we were searching for a house for like a month and a half, hardcore searching, not just like every now and then.
Every day we were searching for houses.
It was so bad to where we had to extend our rent like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Luckily, our landlord is pretty cool.
Yeah, because we would find a house and within a day or two it was gone.
Yeah.
And so we would find we would go tour it, love it, put in our application, and it was gone.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then like we finally found one, and it was a whole mess with that one, you know. And so then we finally found this house, and we moved into it in a week. We got it done in a week, and that whole week was just stressful. And then after that, we got really lazy and we just didn't film anything. So
we've
lived in this house for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
And we're just now finally getting this set.
Yeah, and we just last and it was like a week ago we put this set together. Was it about a week ago? Maybe a little less.
About a week ago. Which is what's exciting is that it's a 4-bedroom house, and we each obviously have a bedroom, and then we have a whole room, this room that we're in right now, completely devoted to our set. Our channel set and our podcast set, which is pretty exciting.
And it's not really that expensive either.
Right, the rent's not too bad.
The rent's not bad. If it stays that way, like our electricity and stuff is pretty good. So we're all set to go, and we'll start putting these out, hopefully weekly. I'm not sure about the exact day. Hopefully we can start. What is today? Today's Tuesday? Oh, that's right. That's right. Today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So hopefully maybe we'll start doing Tuesdays.
Well, Wednesday, because
we'll film on Tuesdays and then
film on Tuesday, have it up on Wednesday. As of now, that's the plan. You never know what things will change, but we'll try to make sure to have one up every week.
Yeah. Which another exciting thing that happened during this pandemic, because there's been a lot of bad stuff that happened. But one exciting thing is that I actually got a new job, where she works. So I'm working full time there now. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why it's been kind of hard. Now that we're settled into this house, it's still kind of hard because I don't have as much time as I used to.
No. Yeah. I'm hoping to get more time soon. I mean, as of now, I have enough time. Well, hopefully, I'll keep having enough time, like just enough time, and hopefully I'll have more time. Because me and Zach are trying to work on more stuff. In order for us to work on this stuff, we need to be able to have more time for me more time for me to be over here.
So the listeners don't care about y'all, and they want to hear some movie news now.
They probably already know about it. Yeah, you've heard it all.
There's no more.
Robert Pattinson is Batman now.
Yeah.
Just in case y'all haven't heard.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson is that Batman. What else is there? COVID.
Yeah, let's talk about that some more.
No, I don't know.
Well, I know that there's not a lot of movie news because obviously COVID shut down a lot of.
I have some I want to talk about. Honestly, I've been wanting to talk about.
Well,
Hopefully
all right. So Zachary, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Before Marquez goes on whatever tangent he's about to go on, because I'm sure it's going to be about cosmic book news.
Actually, I will go over that in a second. But right. I was going to go over something else.
Just a quick side note. We finally saw a movie in theaters.
Whoa! Oh, sorry.
Whoa!
Did you forget?
No, I'm trying to think like big news. Like, whoa!
Okay.
Big news.
I thought you completely forgot about that.
Just making sure.
What? We did.
The news, major news. Yeah.
I said a little side note that doesn't infer that this is gonna be big news.
So sure they know. Big news for us.
But the last movie that me and Brittany saw, I don't know what.
Marquez was, weird. And
Birds of Prey, right? That was yours, right? In February. Hey, well, me and Brittany saw what?
After that, I think there was a time whenever I kept being asked into work.
You hated us, and then you didn't want to come see us. So then. There
was a time when I kept being asked into work, and then I also wanted to get new glasses.
Yeah,
and after I got new glasses when I got COVID.
You know who I blame for you not?
Gave you COVID.
You know who I blame for you not coming to see us? Our other roommate Will, who's no longer living with us.
No longer living with us.
not no longer living. No longer living with us.
You stopped. Like it was a dramatic moment. He's no longer
with us, guys. Let's take a moment of silence.
Yeah.
But anyways, mine and Zach's last movie was The Invisible Man.
Yeah, which was like the end of February, beginning of March.
To be fair, I saw Invisible Man, just
not with us.
The second to last movie was The Lodge, and have you seen that movie?
No, I've not seen
Exactly.
I've seen the trailers.
Yeah.
I've seen the trailers a lot.
But when did we see Tenet? Because that was a movie that we saw for the first time since
ago?
I think it was October 1st, wasn't it?
Well, maybe.
Because I think, or I don't know, it's the beginning of October, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the longest stretch I've gone without seeing a movie.
It was pretty amazing.
It was really hard because for us, we would go every Thursday to see the new movie coming out Friday.
Yeah.
And our mom is also, mine and Zach's mom is also a big movie person. So we would go, every other weekend with her. So it was hard. It was really, I was going through withdrawal.
Yeah, especially because our mom was taking a class at UNT and we lived right across campus. So she would have a class Tuesdays and Thursdays and come up and we would just go see a new movie with her on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. But another thing though is that this is probably the longest I've ever gone without getting a haircut too. Because I haven't gotten a haircut since the middle of March because it was right when the quarantine started happening, and I the first week of quarantine I got the email from the job that I'm working at now, saying that I was offered an interview. I'm like rambling right now, but I was offered an interview, so I got a haircut because I didn't know when I was gonna be able to get a haircut again because of the whole quarantine thing. So that was the last time I've gotten a haircut.
Yeah, exactly. Like with me, I actually had to get a haircut. It was getting ridiculous because I work at a place where I wear a hat, and even right now, this length right here is like uncomfortable for me to wear a hat.
Really?
So I had to like wear hairnets for like a good month and I didn't love doing that either. But I had to wear hairnets for like a good month so I had to get a haircut. So I got one and we were good. And my beard though was getting pretty insane.
Really?
I don't know if any of the videos we filmed had my beard in it or not. I can't
remember either.
I'd be cool if it did, but my beard, like I didn't shave for like 2-3 months.
Really? Jeez.
Crazy. Well, I like trim my cheeks right here in my neck, but
yeah. Which is how sad my facial hair is. Like I've trimmed it up a little bit, like maybe like 2 or 3 times throughout this whole quarantine period, but I haven't shaved that much, and this is all I've got to show for it.
Well, one thing that did happen here recently is the ending of The Boys.
Ooh,
oh yeah, season 2.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
That happened. Well, anyways, but no.
So moving on from that.
The boys. That's a nice little segue into there.
Yep.
I mean,
Facial hair and boys.
Facial hair.
Yeah, boys have facial hair.
The boys.
What are you doing? The gesture.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry to the people just listening and couldn't see his gesture, but it's very inappropriate.
Yeah, the boys. How'd y'all like it, guys? How'd y'all feel?
Oh, I was slurping my water.
I thought we were doing a dramatic
How's
pause.
it feel?
So
Well,
then y'all drink.
You know, I think the last 3 episodes really. Well, I'm not gonna say saved because I did really like the beginning, which I think y'all liked it a little more than I did. But I like the beginning, the first half, but then the second half really is where it got really great.
I agree with that.
I think what it is that in the first season, the middle episodes were kind of slower.
Yeah.
But you didn't really notice that because most people binge stuff. And that first season came all at once. The second season decided to do a little bit different where they released the first 3 and then every week. So the slower episodes were really noticeable because that's all you got that week.
Yeah. And I will say, just to give it credit, kind of what you're saying, but also in the first season, they had to introduce a whole bunch of stuff in the first few episodes. So it was more exciting in the beginning of the season. But at the same time, I do feel like the first 3 episodes of season 2 kind of didn't really go anywhere. I mean, I'm not going to say it didn't go anywhere, but it felt like it took a while for it to get going.
I feel like the first episode suffered because Billy Butcher wasn't in it, and he is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
And so it kind of dragged a little bit because he wasn't in until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I'll say this. I like the first 3 episodes. I thought the first 3 episodes were pretty good. The 4th episode I thought was good. It was a good character episode. It was really slow.
Yeah.
The 5th episode I think was the worst out of the whole series so far.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was filler. And not only there were points in that episode that kind of were good points that should have stayed in the show, but I feel like the 5th episode and all was just a lot of really drug out this episode for no reason.
It's the 5th episode when Homelander was about to suck his own dick.
Was that?
I can't remember. I think that's what, but I think I know what episode you're talking about. And I feel the same way. Yeah,
I can't remember. I know it was the episode whenever Black Noir was at Billy's aunt's.
That's not that episode then.
Billy Aunt's house?
Yeah, Billy's aunt's because his aunt's taking care of his dog.
That's right.
And he's gonna basically commit suicide almost by one of the boys.
Yeah, I felt
and then, or by one of the 7, and then so he goes to say goodbye to his dog, and then that's when Huey and Mother's Milk show up.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I felt like was probably the worst out of the whole show. I'm not gonna say it was a bad episode. I don't think the show's actually had a bad episode.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that episode had a lot of points that were important to the show, but they could have been strung in a better episode. That episode could have had a lot more story in it. There was the whole thing whenever it was Frenchie need to learn to give Kimiko her space.
Oh yeah.
Or to let her be who she is wanting to be.
Especially after her brother died.
Yeah, because he was hovering over her, which is a good thing. But the problem with the 5th episode is everybody was split off.
Yeah.
So it was just Frenchie chasing after her.
Yeah.
Everywhere she went.
It kind of got repetitive.
Yeah, and so I felt like that could have worked because they were almost doing that already in the good episodes. You know? So I felt like they could have done that and just had an episode where it wasn't just so drug out. Like I said, the 4th episode was really slow, but I felt like it was a really good character episode. Yeah, you really got deep into the characters, but the 5th episode just didn't have a lot to it. It just had some good plot details that could have been strung together a lot better.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the 6th episode was when it started getting really good, like you said.
Yeah.
The 6th, 7th, and 8th episode.
Yeah, because the 6th episode is when they finally introduced Lamplighter. And you realize that he's probably not. I mean, he's still a pretty evil guy, but
how they did Lamplighter.
Yeah.
Because you never met Lamplighter ever the first season, but you hated him so much for what he did.
Yeah, because you only knew that he killed Mallory's kids or grandkids.
Yeah, so you hated him so much, and in the very first episode, you're already feeling sorry for him. The first time you're meeting, well, not the very first time, but in that episode, it's the first time we're meeting him, and you feel so sorry for him, and you already love him as a character.
I will say this. And I understood it at first, but then I started realizing a better way they could have done it because they killed him off really quickly. You know, like the next episode they kill him off, and the way they killed him off was kind of weird to me. I knew like he had to die because of the whole head explosion scene. Yeah. In the 7th episode.
Yeah, the courtroom.
Yeah, the courtroom. Whenever all the people's heads started exploding, you know. But I started realizing I wish they would have just killed him then, and then had a scene between him and Mallory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like a better scene where they could have talked it out. Maybe not completely forgiven, but been like, you know, like
right.
Like I understand, you know.
Yeah.
But like it would have been a cool scene. And that was another big, that was probably my biggest issue with the show, with the series, was Lamplighter. They could have done something like that. Like I understood he was probably going to die no matter what. Yeah. Because that whole scene, his head definitely would have been one of the ones that explode. Because he was testifying or whatever. Yeah. And so that's what they should have done. I really feel like that's what they should have done. Just had him go over to that episode. Had that scene with him and Mallory. If that makes sense. But yeah. But something else I want to talk about. And I'm about to, hopefully, we don't have a lot of subscribers on here, but hopefully we don't like start getting some hatred on this. I'm about to say something.
Oh, gosh. This is kind of scary.
I hope that our channel doesn't get like in trouble for me saying these words.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God.
I'm really scared right now.
Okay, there's a letter that comes after P.
Okay.
You know that letter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I still don't know where this is going.
There's a conspiracy theory.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Named after that letter.
Yeah.
You know? And then it goes on.
There's another A after that.
Yeah.
Then an N.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a conspiracy theory. So I'm going to talk about that real quick. So it happened here recently, right? With saying like there's a whole ring, like
of those people.
I'm trying of celebrities.
Yeah.
That do things with children.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I don't really care about getting like demonetized, but I just don't know how much we can say without getting. Like,
you never know with YouTube and
shut down. Especially since here recently I've heard that a lot of posts are just going to be getting removed from like Facebook.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if YouTube's going the same route, so I'm going to be careful. But anyways, so a lot of people are saying this, and and I just want to bring this out because not a lot of people are saying it, right? And even it is more of a right-wing conspiracy theory. I don't want to try to get into politics about it, you know, but it is. It's like just an obviously right-wing conspiracy theory. So one of the main things they talk about on there, right, is that it's talking about Tom Hanks. Right, that's probably the biggest one, right? But one of the main things, but the reason why they got that name really is there's this list that came out about, you know,
Jeffrey Epstein.
Whoa!
Sorry, you can't even say his name.
I don't know. I have no idea. Honestly, I had no idea.
He who shall not be named.
Jeff.
The one that did not commit suicide.
Yeah, you know, good old Jeff.
Good old Jeff.
Well, probably not good old Jeff at all, actually. Not at all. Good
so
old
is that
Jeff.
Netflix documentary about him going to get shut down too?
I don't know, dude. I'm confused
that documentary is not on YouTube though. So.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, YouTube, like anything, automated system, bam, they're gone. You know, but anyway.
So you can't even say his girlfriend's name?
I don't know what.
All right,
but your sister's last name is that.
Well, I don't know. Good old drinking. I don't know. Maxwell House.
Oh, now we're shut down.
Just keep going with your explanation.
Anyway, so they talk about Tom Hanks, and they say Tom Hanks Tom Hanks fled to Greece or whatever, right? That's what they're saying. So I'm going to bring this out. A good point. I'm not going to say this completely slams down that argument. You know, maybe it's true. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is a lot of people who believe in it. They're like, oh, I'm 100% positive. Well, the only 100% way you can be 100% positive is if you were there.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Yeah,
right?
And you have pictures.
So they're pretty much telling on themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. And so I just want to say this. So Tom Hanks, the reason why he has a citizenship in Greece is because sometime last year, I guess, near Athens, there was a big forest fire, like a devastating forest fire. And Tom Hanks and his wife decided like they want to go ahead and they want to be very outspoken about it. So they were really outspoken about talking about it all the time, I guess, you know. And the prime minister of Greece was so like loved that. And so he gave them honorary citizenship because of that. Like he gave them the citizenship. They didn't apply for it. And this happened back in December. Like he gave them honorary citizenship in December. It just, I think later on they announced it. Right. So that, to me, that's one of the biggest arguments against it. Also, people are saying he fled to Greece. Like he fled over there. Right. Now, the thing about Greece is if you look it up, Greece actually has an extradition treaty to America. So if Tom Hanks decided to run over there, to get out with the law, he actually, it's not the best place for him to go to. One of the best places to go to is like China or something like that, where there's no extradition treaty. But there is, so we could just take him right back. Right. Another thing that went around, is they said that, another thing they say that Greece actually, people are saying that pedophilia is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Whoa. Channel shut down.
Well, sorry.
The P word.
Yeah, hopefully they didn't catch that. They said the P word is legal in Greece. Some people are saying that, right?
There's so many P words.
They're saying that word is legal in Greece. That's what a lot of people are saying. I've seen, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes
just a word.
Yeah, just a word. Yeah. Because they're saying, I think some time ago, Greece did this thing where they wanted to make, they put that on some kind of mental illness thing, right? And there's a lot of people are like, well, so they did it so that those people can get like benefits from the government, right? Okay, so if you look it up, right, the only reason why Greece did that at all was because they wanted to put them, be able to do testing on them, right? They wanted to be able to do testing on those people, right? So and they wouldn't get benefits either. They had a whole list of people. There was like pyromaniacs. There was different types of like fetishes, and then there was that all on there. And the main reason why they made that list is so that they could do testing, like medical testing on those people, right? To see what's going on. Because it is possible to get rid of that mindset in people. Because I remember a while back, there was this time whenever they did testing on people, they would find out they had any urges, and then they would put them through therapy before they did anything, and then they take that thought out of their head, right? And so that's mainly what it was for, was to do medical testing, and it was never going to be legal to be that kind of person, and they would have never gotten benefits, right? So it's a lot of things of people like finding these truths, and then making them kind of like just like finding little things and making that little thing blow up,
Right.
Also, big thing. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, which is probably what you're gonna bring up, the flight logs.
Yeah, the flight logs, right?
Yeah.
The flight logs. There is a real flight log, and then there's a famously fake flight log, which I can't be 100% sure it's fake, but there's a flight log that has a whole bunch of names, and if you look at it, it is. And like I said, I want to make this too political because I'm not trying to make this lean any way. But it's mainly Democrat. It's pretty much all Democratic celebrities,
like openly liberal
celebrities, like Robert Downey Jr., Tom Hanks, Lady Gaga, John Legend, all of them. Right now on that list, right, you have a few contradicting things, and one of the main ones one of the biggest ones here is that on John Legend, right, his stage name, he's named as his stage name, which is John Legend, right, but Lady Gaga is named as her real name, which is something else. I don't know.
It starts with a G.
Stephanie Gog.
There you go. Spot on.
I can't remember what it was, but it's like Stephanie something with a G, right? And she's named as that. And it's weird that if a flight log was real, that they would name them.
Yeah.
They would name one as a stage name and one as the real name. Yeah. Now, again, that's not me saying that like it's 100% false. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on.
And also, weren't some of the names like misspelt?
Yeah, on the original fake one, some of the names were misspelt. Like I think Barack Obama's name was misspelt and stuff like that. But none of those people are actually on the real flight logs. None of them are. Yeah, at all. They are. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say. Okay, I said none of them just now. Sorry, let's backtrack a second. Not none of them. Yeah. Most of them aren't on the flight logs at all. But the people who are on the flight logs are people like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was on the flight logs like 26 times.
I can. That's not too surprising.
Yeah, it's not too surprising.
Happens.
Yeah, it's not too surprising. I think Naomi Campbell is on the real flight logs, and I think she's actually been named. I don't know how far they've done a full investigation of that, but I think she's actually been named by some of the people, by the actual like victims and stuff like that. A few other people are, but like
And isn't on the real one the guy whose name starts with a T?
Oh yeah, he is actually on one of. He's on one of there one time. The real one. He's on there one time.
Starts with a T.
T-R.
U.
Oh.
Okay, you should get it by now.
Are we not supposed to say his name either?
I don't know.
Oh no.
That was Donald.
Yeah. Donnie.
Donnie.
Yeah.
Old Donnie's
I
on there.
don't know what we can say because maybe YouTube's like. They're like, oh, they say his name. That's not too bad. But then they piece it together and like, wait a minute.
They're like, hold on. He said the P word earlier.
Yeah.
Do you really think YouTube's going to go through that much work to try to piece together words?
That's true. That's true. And that's not me saying that I think that he did anything on that flight either. I don't know if he did.
Yeah.
But that's me saying that, like I said, this is
the
mostly...
thing is that the island had girls that were underage on the island. So more than likely, if you went to the island, you knew something was going on.
Yeah.
Even though maybe you didn't participate in anything going on, you knew something was going on.
Yeah.
Which we probably should have brought that up at the beginning, but yeah. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
They weren't just taking like a vacation.
Yeah. And like I said, that's not me saying like, I know for a fact that Donnie did something there. I don't know.
First name basis over there.
You know, me and Donnie.
Like, hey Donnie, what's up? How you doing? No. That's not me saying that he did anything. I don't know. Like I wasn't there, so I want to know. Yeah. That's me saying that that's a complete like. I don't want to say proof. It's kind of evidence that it's completely like biased on political standpoints, right? Because, like I said, this is definitely a right-wing conspiracy theory, right? And the fact that one of the logs, and it's not if you look up flight logs, right, you're not going to find his name on that one, but well, you might find it now. I don't know, because I found that one easily, and then I went to Reddit and asked someone to send me the link to that one. They sent me the link to it, and it was one of the other flight logs that he was on. He's only on there once, so who knows? Yeah, like I don't want to point any fingers because but it is a truly right-wing conspiracy theory. So to name off all these Democratic celebrities, but not name off the one conservative one, the one big conservative one is a weird thing. It's kind of weird. Yeah, and that to me is why. Like kind of evidence that this is all like a very like politically based conspiracy theory, and not just that, right? You have all these hashtags like
save our children.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
YouTube's like, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The algorithm's talking now.
You have all these hashtags, right? Like that. The original one, hopefully I can say this one. It Save the Children.
Yeah.
Which now it's Bill Gates.
That one's a Bill Gates one, so they changed it to the other one, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying this, because they're like, we got to do it, we got to, but they don't realize that is directly related to this conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but that right there is probably the most believable portion of the conspiracy theory. Right. All the things we talk about now. Mm-hmm. That's the most popular part of this conspiracy theory, but it's the most believable part. This conspiracy also goes into the believing that these people had red shoes created out of children's skin. Yeah,
would that have to do with something with Macaulay Culkin or
Macaulay Culkin was part of the conspiracy theory. He never said anything, but I think he said that when he was a kid. He didn't say this, but there's this picture that was put up, and it said that when he was a kid, he was talking to this Hollywood exec, and he was like pointing at his shoes or something like that, and pretty much saying like, yeah, these are children's skin, right? But if that article was only posted by, I think, was 3 different news articles that said that, right?
Right.
And those 3 different news articles, all 3 of them said that their source was this other, I can't remember what it was called. For some reason, I think it's Politico, but I'm not sure. All 3 of their sources were from this one site. Yeah. But that one website, number one, that article is not in their site. It's not on there. But also, that one source doesn't even talk about celebrity news.
Really?
Yeah, they don't even talk about celebrity news. I think they talk about like business or politics and something like that, but they don't even talk about celebrity news.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So to just talk about Macaulay Culkin like that. So he never said that. Yeah. Ever, And again, I don't know 100%.
And then there was the whole. Can we say the furniture company?
I'm sure because that was pretty much debunked, wasn't it?
I think so.
I mean, probably not completely, but
the Wayfair one.
But it's still open too. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, where people, because Wayfair does this thing when it's almost out of stock, or there's a reason why they increase the price so much to where it's like $1,000 for like a simple like bookshelf.
Yeah.
And people were like, why are they so much? And so the conspiracy theory formed that it was a way for celebrities to go on there and buy a child disguised as a bookshelf. And why they thought it was children is because they said that the names of the bookshelves were names from children that had gone missing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of names on there that like the children came out saying that we have not been kidnapped. We're still here.
Yeah. So like I don't like to have to say this, but I just want to make sure people know this because the other side is saying 100%. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm 100% sure.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure. The only way you can know that is if you were there, right? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I just know that.
Or if you're the two people, one who did not commit suicide and the girl.
Right. I can't know. So, but I just think there's enough evidence against it to think otherwise, right?
Yeah.
That's not me saying I don't believe in traffic.
Traffic, car traffic.
Yeah. That's not me saying I don't believe in that. I believe that's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I also believe that it's handled, pretty well as much as they can.
Yeah.
As sad as it is, there's a whole FBI unit that's set up to track this, to track online sites, to track people. They're trying their hardest, but it's so hard you have the deep web. You have it's just like the drug trade. You're never going to get rid of the drug trade because there's so many ways that they can get around it. There's hidden tunnels. There's so many ways that you can.
Yeah. I don't think people realize how big this world is.
Yeah.
It's not like it's happening across the street, it's a big world. It happens a lot of places. There's different places, right. And it's not like it's a ton of them. It's not like they're everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's just there's a few of them. And so you have to find them and it's hard to find them. It's hard to know where to look for them.
Yeah, because they blend into society. They're not going to just come out and say, "Hey guys, I'm the T word."
I cause traffic in cars.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I had to think T.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
That's why at airports it's a big deal. Even with all those cameras, they're still able to kidnap people because they're blending in.
Yeah.
They don't look suspicious. So how is my hashtag going to help that when they're already doing so much?
Yeah, they're already doing it. I saw this one thing is like, it was like, they found this van full of like a ton of kids, why isn't this news? I'm like, well, they did it.
Right.
And number two, that wasn't even real.
Right.
Like what the actual post, they didn't find that many kids in the truck. I think they found like a certain amount of kids, but they were all in different places. Right. Mm-hmm. And not saying like, not saying anything against that, but number one, your post is fake. And number two, it was done.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't do it. They did it.
Yeah. I also saw another post that was really stupid. It was like, so they were able to find or able to create a app that can tell you anybody who has COVID that's near you, but they can't tell you when a trafficker is near you or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, one, that's almost near impossible to do because how are they supposed to know that somebody's a trafficker without them actually figuring it out? And two, as far as they can go is like sex offenders. Yeah. Like sex offenders have to register. Yeah. And you can actually look that up.
Yeah.
To see if there's any of them near you.
Yeah.
So
exactly. It's already kind of set up right there. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's all a little like exploded. It exploded out.
Yeah. I feel like we've all been in lockdown
and
quarantine too long. If you've noticed a lot of we already had a lot of conspiracies, but more ridiculous ones and more people are believing the conspiracy theories because also there's a documentary on Netflix which is really good, which I still need to show y'all, called Social Dilemma. Oh, yeah. And it talks about how social networks are now it's easy to spread fake news through social media. And it's because of the algorithms that people have set up through there that they found that. So in the Social Dilemma, they talked about how on Twitter, fake news was more than likely 6 times more likely to spread than actual news. So Twitter found that, oh, let me just push fake news. And so people now are not researching it because, oh, this person shared it, or, this is usually a reliable source. And so they don't go search more into it. And that's where we're getting people to believe a lot more conspiracy theories than we used to.
No, right. Exactly. It's all insane. And I keep saying it, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's all real. Maybe it isn't. I just hate when people like to say like I'm 100% positive whenever they don't have like any proof at all.
Right.
Exactly.
They don't have any evidence towards it, and the evidence they do have isn't real, or just kind of weird connections. But there's enough. I truthfully feel like there's a time whenever I was against it, but like, you know what? No, let me put my mindset. Let me try to believe it.
Yeah.
Right. Because I truthfully believe the only way you can know if you're right or not is by trying to make yourself believe in it.
Yeah. Right.
You try to make yourself believe in it, and you're actually just like saying.
It's also good to look on the other so you see the conservative side, and it's good to see like other sides. Like if it's a liberal argument, okay, let me look at the conservative side. If it's a conservative argument, let me look at the liberal side. That way that you can get a better understanding of where both are coming from. And you can make a better judgment. And that's what I feel like everybody should do, but don't want to take the time to, because they're so deadlocked in their thoughts.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of people like, and there's what is it called? Is it the Dunning-Kruger effect? What is it? I can't remember what it's called. There's a whole bunch of different effects, but it's where like the more educated people are less confident in their beliefs or their opinions, right? But the less educated people, the more educated people are less confident, but the less educated people are more confident.
Oh yeah,
beliefs, right. And so like that works with like vaccines, doctors, right? They like the people who are against vaccines, they're like 100%. Like 100% positive. There's nothing that can change their mind. Even evidence that has been put in their face several times. But doctors, they all know that nobody's ever said that vaccines are 100% safe.
Right.
That's what science is built on, the fact that things could be wrong.
Yeah, it's a lot like, which I don't want to get too far into this because it's a whole different topic. And there's a pretty big movie news thing that I do want to talk about at the end of this. But the whole mask wearing thing, like it blows my mind how many people turn that into a political argument. It's like, if you care about other people, then just wear a mask. like even if the science is wrong, which I think that's what you're about to talk about, right?
I was gonna say, even if it's all wrong, at least all it's doing is inconveniencing you for an hour.
And not even inconveniencing you. I said that really weird, but it's not even for that long that you're wearing it. Or I mean, it's not even that bad when you're wearing it. I mean, nobody likes wearing a mask. I hate wearing a mask, especially with my mustache and beard. But I do it just because I don't want to get anybody else sick or potentially kill them.
I've also noticed when you try to rationalize with people that are so dead set, they just want to argue, and they're always like, any evidence you bring to them, oh well, that's fake. Well, that's what they want you to believe.
Which, like, me and Zach were talking the other day, like we should just create some random conspiracy theory.
I know, really should.
And just start sharing it. And like just have that conspiracy theory just blow up, because I can't imagine it's that hard.
Yeah, it really can't be, to be honest.
Hey, we could just say like, well, where's it? Oh, well, it was hidden.
They're trying to hide it.
There's this Law and Order SVU episode that I watched here recently, that it was literally a guy that was on a computer just making up conspiracy theories. But because he had so many followers already, people were just believing it. And he admitted to the detectives, I just make up stuff and then it takes off.
Right.
And they were like, okay, well then stop it. Like, shut it down. And he goes, no, this is how I make my fame, is just making up conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just, that's how it is in the real world. You can make up anything and then just have just not even like just a fake flight log. And then there you go.
Yeah.
Just
fake
send
anything.
it out.
Yeah. I mean, the whole anti-vaxxer movement is based on fake
data.
Fake data. So I mean, just anything you can start it. And like I said, like with scientists, it's not like they're saying that vaccines are 100% safe. They're saying that they're the best option to do,
Yeah.
right? Because
I mean,
without there's areas where they stopped doing vaccines and then measles started outbreaking, and things like that.
And the thing is that people need to realize that back in the day, life expectancy was like 40, 50 if you were lucky.
Yeah.
We can now live to 80, 90, even 100 years old. And it's because of science
Right.
and technology that we're developing.
Yeah. And I saw this one thing where, I mean, I saw a lot of people saying this, like, because like people were complaining that they couldn't be able to breathe in masks because the CO2 gets trapped in there.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
And they're saying like, oh, well, if CO2 can come out, then can't COVID-19 particles come into the mask? But it's like the COVID particles are bigger.
Like,
than the
like substantially
Yeah,
bigger.
substantially bigger than the CO2 particles.
Yeah.
And you can look that up. Like, it's a true fact that they're substantially bigger. And also, masks are for like whenever somebody sneezes or somebody talks or shouts, and those particles go into the air, and the mask catches it. It gets onto the mask. It's not like the COVID-19 particles are going to try to burrow into the holes.
Viruses aren't living. They're not living things.
Yeah, they need a host to survive.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're living things to where they can like burrow into the mask.
Yeah. And
so they're just going to land on the top layer of the mask.
And it's also, people don't understand, masks don't stop COVID. That's why there's also social distancing.
Yeah.
There's quarantine, all that.
Mask
stops the spread.
Yeah, it's like cars. Like you have seatbelts, but that's not gonna completely save you every time. So there's airbags, and even that's not gonna save you every time. It's just for precautions.
Yes.
It's just to reduce people. People don't realize it's about probability.
Yeah.
Like it reduces the chances that the spread could happen. It's not gonna 100% eradicate it.
Yeah.
And these
But
are
it's gonna lower the
standard
chances.
procedures. The CDC, the WHO, they all come anytime there's a pandemic. These are the guidelines that we have to follow.
Yeah.
It's just that COVID is different than most viruses that we've experienced in our lifetime because asymptomatic people carry the disease and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's scary about it.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate about the two. I mean, again, I don't want to get like too political, but I hate the two-party system because once one party decides on something, then everybody in that party feels like they have to follow it.
Yeah.
Like it's like a checklist that you have to go through, and you have to follow everything that the party says you should follow.
Your, like, conservative card.
Yeah, and that's why I hate that the mask thing was turned into a political debate because people on the right side can't think properly because they're conditioned to think with their political party, and the Americans have politicized the topic of masks.
Yeah.
So they have to follow what their party is following.
Like I saw this post, like the only thing that America could agree on this year was that Carol Baskins killed her husband.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which then because she was on Dancing with the Stars, right, this season, and then her husband's her husband's family like put a commercial during like the first episode of the season, like asking people to help them find her.
Or start an investigation for the murder.
Exactly.
I just thought it was like awesome. A gross exploitation of, because we don't know definitively that she killed her husband. I mean, it's pretty obvious. The evidence is there. Mm-hmm. But she's just as bad as the Joe Exotic and everybody else on that documentary. She has big cats in cages too.
Yeah, I never got through the whole series, so like, you know more about it, but
I'm so disappointed in me. I'm the only one that finished it in this podcast.
Yeah, we only have about 10 minutes left. Well, I mean, we can go further, but I also want to say this.
No,
it seems
you
like
have 10 minutes.
It seems like this is like a whole like conspiracy theory episode, except for the boys part, right? But
the boys had conspiracy theories too.
That's true. Yeah.
There's the whole episode on.
That is true. But another thing I want to talk about is they released this a while ago, right? We just haven't been doing it. That COVID-19 has only killed, what was it, 94%?
Oh yeah,
94% of COVID deaths are
COVID
strictly from COVID.
Or
no,
I can't remember the word.
So 94.
Oh yeah, you're right.
94%.
6%. Only 6% is strictly from COVID.
Yeah, so only 6% is strictly from COVID, right?
Yeah, 6% of deaths. Yeah,
6% of the deaths strictly from COVID. So let's just talk about that real quick, right? I think it's a good point. Is that people don't realize a few things. Number one, let's just talk about the morality of that sentence,
Yeah.
right? The way that people are using it.
Right.
6%. That is significant
Yeah.
in a population.
Right.
Yeah. And not just that. Are we going to act like the other 94%'s life don't matter?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like at all? Like those.
Yeah, like people saying that are always saying like all lives matter, which we can talk about that whole situation next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really hypocritical.
Yeah, it's really hypocritical. But like people don't realize like whenever people say like the 94% had other symptoms, we're talking diabetes. We're talking asthma even, right? We're not just talking like big things, right? We're talking little things like diabetes. I'm not going to say like little things like it's hard to deal with, but diabetes and asthma.
Yeah.
Right? Things that people could live a full life with.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fine.
Right.
But they got it and then they died.
Yeah. So I saw one of my Facebook friends post something like, I can't remember the exact post, but it's something like what you're saying. Like if I have diabetes and I'm taking proper medication and everything's going just fine, and then I catch COVID and die, what killed me, the diabetes or COVID?
Yeah, exactly.
It was COVID.
And what were you saying?
Does your sister mind us talking about?
I'm sure she should be fine.
I won't go into great detail, but she didn't have diabetes before, and now she does.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
because of COVID.
Yeah, it's because of COVID. Yeah, that's another thing. Probably the most important point I was going to make is that a lot of people, their other symptoms that they had, they didn't just have that before. Right. Most of the time, it was brought on by COVID. Like a very common thing that's brought on by COVID is pneumonia, and that's also something that people have been dying from is pneumonia. Like my sister. She didn't have pneumonia before COVID. She got it afterwards. Yeah. Because they're kind of related. Something else. Sepsis. Sepsis can kill you easily. Sepsis by itself can kill you, right? And sometimes sepsis has been brought on by COVID. There's, so I think like some kind of failure, like respiratory failure, that can be brought on by COVID. A lot of these deaths, some of the most things that people have died from COVID were actually brought on by COVID.
And then what also people don't realize is that doctors and nurses can't wait on you around the clock. Like before COVID, anytime you got an illness, you could press the nurse's call button and a nurse would come to you. Right. They can't do that with COVID. One, they have too many patients, and two, they have to suit up every time they come to you if you're diagnosed with COVID. So that means that you are suffering by yourself because you don't have any family members, you don't have any friends, and then the nurses can't get to you as fast. So that's another thing that people aren't realizing, that those people died scared and nobody to. I mean, obviously the nurses and doctors are going to be there, but that's not the same as your family members being there.
Right.
Yeah. And people don't ever look at things like for them. Yeah, we're about 25 minutes. Right. People don't ever look at things like from like, what if this was me or what if this is a family member of mine? People don't ever look at stuff. Well, I mean, some people do, like I do, and a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't do that. It's like, it's important. I mean, people are dying and people are acting like, people are like, well, 200,000, that's barely even 1% of America.
Right.
I'm like, well, I haven't done the math on it, but are you literally going to look me in the eye and say 200,000 is not a lot of people?
No.
Because my thing is with COVID is if I got it, I'd probably live. I don't have underlying conditions. I don't know. I mean, who knows? I could develop something. My thing is my parents.
Yeah.
You know, they're older. You know, they have one of the underlying health issues. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried for myself.
Yeah.
Right.
It's my older family members that I'm worried about, spreading it to them if I catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, I've seen almost the worst side of it. Like when I say my sister was bad, I mean, she was bad. It got to the point where I was kind of expecting the worst. Yeah. You know, I was not expecting, I was kind of getting myself ready for it because it was bad. It got so bad. They had to use like treatments that she was actually allergic to, you know? Yeah. And it was to the point, it's like, well, if we don't use these, she will die, you know? So we might as well just use these treatments she's allergic to. And it worked, you know? But like at the end of the day, she is still dealing with stuff because of it. Right. You know? And so it's not like, it's not, people think that the worst thing that can happen is just you die, which I mean, it kind of is, but like you die, right? I get what you're saying, yeah. But it's not the only thing that can happen. Yeah. You can live and get things because of it, right? Like diabetes, anything like that. You can get things because of it, you know? Yeah. And I don't think people understand that, truthfully. You know, there's just a lot of things like that. I don't think people really take into mind.
Yeah. And how much time do we have left?
We're at 27. We're about at 27 minutes. So you have about. I mean, we can do longer, but 3 minutes. Is
Yeah.
probably
So
good.
for these last 3 minutes, I want to talk about murder hornets.
Okay.
No. I do want to just bring up the whole Spider-Man. Are y'all
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
okay
bring
with
up Spider-Man.
COVID? No, I mean, are y'all okay with COVID?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
we can keep it here, right?
Yeah.
No, but the whole Spider-Man 3 news with the whole Jamie Foxx being brought back as Electro,
Yeah.
then Doctor Strange being in Spider-Man 3, being confirmed to be in Spider-Man 3, and like this whole I've been seeing like all day today. I was seeing a lot of people say, "Oh, it's been confirmed that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are confirmed
Yeah.
to be in Spider-Man 3," but I haven't seen any like credible source say that or any news source saying that. But I've been seeing a lot of people say that. But I am actually getting pretty excited for this
That'd
Spider-Man
be
3.
pretty great. Yeah. Hopefully that happens, but I'm just excited for it in general.
Yeah.
It does kind of make me sad because I was hoping that maybe Disney and Sony could come to.
Yeah, I feel like it's a way for them to route them out the MCU.
Yeah, so
unfortunately.
it is sad, but I am excited because I do love Spider-Man, and I love the animated Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with that. So.
Yeah, and even though it hasn't been confirmed yet, I hate people who are saying like people need to calm down about their hopes for Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and the whole multiverse thing happening. But like Doctor Strange is gonna have a multiverse movie. It's in his title for the second Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch, the whole WandaVision thing is showing that it's gonna have like an alternate reality in it. What's that guy's name? Jamie Foxx. But what's the Evan Peters was cast in the WandaVision show. I'm not saying he's gonna be Quicksilver, but it's kind of strange that he's gonna be in that show. And then Jamie Foxx
can return as
Electro, which the MCU has been adamant about not using villains that have been used before in other movies, and now they're bringing back one with the same actor. But we can go and end it.
Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say a few other things, but we can hold it off for later.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, this is more of a different episode than we've usually done. We just went on like a long tangent about stuff, and I think it's important.
Yeah,
it's a good episode back.
Because we haven't filmed an episode during COVID, so this is.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll go over most stuff next week, and we're gonna have to end this really quick because we have maybe 40 seconds. So if we want to stay into that hour mark. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching or listening, and just tune back in. Oh my goodness!
Oh my
goodness! Tune back in.
I was trying to wave to the camera.
See you
Nobody
later.
cares about you.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop hitting the tail. Bye.
Bye.
I was holding that in the whole entire time.